Hey everyone, welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valenti, your hosting Café con Leche. For the next hour, inviting you to get social with us online. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valenti. Our first guest is an award-winning extended reality metaverse creator, consultant, and speaker who specializes in nonfiction and social impact stories. Her latest film project, Mahal, inspired by Philippine mythology, tells the story of four immortal children wrestling with grief and how their actions create ripples throughout the universe. Everyone joining us to share more on this whole metaverse existence is extended reality metaverse creator and Mahal director, Michaela Ternaksy-Holland. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations on your premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Yes, it's been surreal. I remember just 9 months ago working with my amazing team of quill artists and the amazing sound designer and score composer, and telling them, I have a dream, and that dream is for this project to premiere at Tribeca. I'm a New York local, love New York City, and just to be able to share this piece with all of the people that live in this gorgeous city, be able to share it with my friends, be able to bring my friends in to help support the project. It's been the most incredibly embracing experience I've had. I feel so held and supported by my team. Some of the cast that live in LA and Chicago who are Filipino and Filipino American were actually in town and actually are able to experience what it is to be at a festival. Some of our crew that also lives on the West Coast is coming into town. And so it's really just been an amazing experience so far. And I'm so humbled and grateful that we were curated and chosen for this amazing film premiere.
All right, so this is wonderful, and thank you for all of that enthusiasm, because now we're going to educate our audience a little bit about this immersive experience. Based on my research and combing through your work, it's really fascinating, and for me, it's almost like a matter of embracing the reality that this is part of our reality, right? Mm-hmm. And so, there's certain language that I may I may stumble upon, right? Because it's still fairly new to me. But just to be clear, and I want our audience to understand, this particular film actually lives in a virtual reality style, right? So people can experience it with what do we call those? Binocular?
A reality headset. A headset.
Virtual reality headsets?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and then, but right now they're screening it at a film festival in which they're seeing it on an actual screen. Is that how it's working? I mean, explain that. Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to explain. So Tribeca Festival has recently rebranded to be more inclusive to all mediums of storytelling. There's now a Tribeca podcasts category. There's a Tribeca X category, which is about advertising. Of course, there's the traditional Tribeca film category that we all know and love. And another part of this is there's a Tribeca immersive and games category. So there's now a curation of games and immersive projects that Tribeca has as a part of their competition, as a part of their festival. And so the way that works is we don't have our film theater screenings like all the film folks. We actually have our own exhibition floor here at Spring Studios on the 5th floor. And our exhibition floor is set up similar to an art gallery where each of the projects have their own small space that they are able to do whatever they want. They can put artwork there, they can put some objects there, they can hang screens on the walls. And really it's meant to make an immersive kind of environment for the audience before they get into a virtual reality headset or a mixed reality headset. And so instead of having 1 or 2 screenings at a theater, our projects are screening all day between now and the 17th, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the weekdays and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on the weekends. So anyone with a day pass or a day ticket can go online, get access to the immersives category, and then come see our projects.
And so the film itself is 90 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, 19. It's a short film.
Right. And so within the experience itself, how long of a process is that coming in, acclimating, and then transferring into that immersive world and then and coming out? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we call that onboarding, right? We make sure someone feels really comfortable with what the headset is and what it does. The onboarding process for this project is quite quick because the project itself isn't intense. I've done projects before about really intense subject matter, such as nuclear weapons threat or domestic violence, and those definitely need a lot more onboarding and care because you want to make sure the audience knows exactly what they're getting into. This project is a little more lighthearted. It's inspired by me growing up as a kid with Disney and Pixar, so it's actually animated. The characters themselves feel very approachable. They feel like animated characters that you would find in a Disney movie or Pixar film. And the project itself is inspired by Philippine mythology, so it's a narrative project. It's not this intense documentary. So when someone comes into this space, it's really about saying, hey, have you ever done VR before? We want to make sure the VR headset fits quite well. So we will make sure that you have somebody to help adjust the headset so that it fits nice on your face. And then at that point, we will help you begin the experience. And then there's no interactivity. So some virtual reality has a lot of interactivity. There's a lot of gameplay. Our experience is an immersive film. So instead of having to do a lot of things to make the project and the story happen, you actually just get to sit back, relax in a chair, and let the story unfold around you, which I find is a really amazing experience when you're trying to take somebody on this incredible journey. And that in and of itself is about 19 minutes. And then once somebody gets out of headset, that takes a few moments as well. And then we ask them, how do you feel? Are you okay? Are you ready to stand up? Some people might feel, they want to take a moment, think about what they just saw. Some people might be like, I need a second just to reorient myself back to reality. And then I don't want to give it away. We have some really special items that are in the space that make our space really unique that the folks can then go and kind of look at in a deeper way now that they've seen some of those objects inside the headset, getting to see them in the exhibit and how they're portrayed. Again, I don't want to give it away. Please come out and see the experience and you'll get to see what I'm talking about.
Right. And so then there's the story itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get a sneak peek, obviously not through virtual reality, but I noticed that without giving too much away, there's this like experience of being in this space of almost like the universe. And I hope I didn't give too much away in saying that. So there's a therapeutic aspect to what I experienced in this particular film, Mahal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm actually wearing our t-shirt that's being sponsored by Kuyate, which means Kuya and Ate, big brother, big sister in Tagalog. And so the project is inspired by Philippine mythology. I'm a mixed race Filipino-American, and this is my way of connecting back to my culture and heritage is by learning more about our ancestral knowledge and about our ancestral stories. And so the project is really centered around this theme of grief. I lost my father at a very young age when he died in a car accident. And so the project takes place in a time pre-colonialization, pre-imperialism. So we have these group of villagers that live on this island that's inspired by the Philippines. And then we have this Filipino pantheon of gods that live in the celestial realm. And these pantheon of gods are kids. It's the sun god, the moon god, the goddess of the stars, the goddess of the dawn. And they're trying to deal with the recent loss of their father, who is the creator god, Bathala. But just like in grief, we experience so many ranges of emotion. We experience anger, resentment, abandonment, suppressing our emotions. We isolate ourselves. We dive ourselves into workaholism and into creative expression. And even though we are going through it ourselves, our actions also affect the people around us. And so the beauty of the piece is that there's no protagonist or antagonist. Everybody's just trying to do their best. But these four God characters, their actions are not just affecting each other as a family. They have huge effects on this mortal realm, on these villagers that we also get to know and love. And that's really the emphasis of the story, is that grief is a process that you have to go through in your unique way, and it affects people around you. But also being able to express that grief, especially from places that experience lots of trauma and have to really suppress those deep emotions. Sometimes expressing that grief in a really safe way allows you to find the way to move forward into that new chapter of your life. The grief never fully goes away. I've experienced it my whole life, but there is a sense that you are able to move into a new chapter, a new phase, or a new beginning once you've kind of dealt with some of those more intense emotions.
Wonderful. Wow. So beautifully said. You're so eloquent, Michaela. Thank you so much for that quick like tutorial on VR and the world and the possibilities of the world that can be created. Once again, you guys, that's Michaela Ternaksy-Holland, and she is an extended reality metaverse creator. And of course, we were discussing Mahal. She's the director of Mahal, and you can experience Mahal as part of the Tribeca Film Festival, which is her film is happening on June 17th in their immersive category through at Spring Studios, located at 6 St. John's Lane on the 5th floor in Manhattan. For more information on Mahal, you can visit reimaginedvr.com. And for more on Michaela, you can visit Michaela Ternaksy-Holland, -Holland.com. All right, stay tuned. There's more with them when we return.